Okay, for my final video of the day, I will be doing my Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro versus LG Tone FP9, and I'll also be saying basically FP8 as well, because I'm going to be mentioning stuff that comes with the FP8 that the FP9 doesn't have, which is basically just one feature, wireless charging, and that comes at the trade-off of having the plug-in wireless feature. So, yeah, we'll get into this here. Um, these are very interesting headphones, to say the least. A lot of people are saying the Soundcores are just the king of true wireless earbuds right now because they do what the Sonys do for a little under half the price or whatever the hell. And while that was my previous video, um, what I'll say here is that I feel like people are overhyping these headphones because there are a lot more headphones that I feel do better at what the Soundcore do for pretty much around the same price, but that just don't have a few features that the Soundcores do have, but also have features that the Soundcores don't have. So we'll get into that here real quick. In terms of the overall look of both earbuds, both of them have this LED light feature that you can see right here. LG did it first. They did it with the FN6s, and it's the first true wireless earbuds that they had that had the UV nano thing. And yeah, let's get into this here real quick. Um, in terms of overall like footprint and whatnot in your ear, these will definitely take up the smaller footprint. These definitely fit in your ear far better for me personally. They stay in there, they're snug. I have no problem using these to run or jog or be outside. I don't feel like they're gonna blow out when it's a windy day. These definitely do a far better job at staying in my ear. These are definitely more AirPods like, but these still have a smaller stem than even the AirPods 3. I did a video comparing XM4s, these with the AirPods 3, and you can see exactly what I mean. These are definitely very good in terms of, say, overall comfort. Despite having a stem, I really have no issues with how these feel in my ear. These, on the other hand, these are quite bulky. They're lightweight, but they definitely take up more space in your ear. I do feel like Soundcore did a very good job of making sure that they're at least lightweight, so they're not being all hefty inside of your ear. But at the same time, they're quite big. And for people saying that I feel like a lot of people that say these are far more comfortable than earbuds like the XM4s are only really saying that because they're lightweight, not because of the overall bulk of the headphones themselves, which is totally fine. I don't necessarily feel like that's a good or bad thing, but overall, quite bulky headphones. In terms of magnet strength in the case, I feel like both do a very good job. The LGs might be a little bit better. I don't know. Nah, they actually might be as good. It's a little bit easier to take the FP8s out, but I don't feel like these are just gonna fall out. Say, if you do this or if you drop them, I feel like every time I've dropped this case with earbuds in them, the case has stayed closed. So I've really had no issues with these, and I feel like this will pretty much be the same, where the case will probably it may open a little bit when you drop it, but it's not going to be horrendous. Definitely not the weakest magnets in the case I've ever seen. I think the weakest magnets I've seen in the case are Samsung earbuds, both the Buds Pro and the Buds 2, where the magnets in those cases are just weak. And it really doesn't make sense. In terms of overall like case durability, I feel like both of them are really good. A little bit of wiggle there, as you guys can see there. Really no issues there. I don't feel like it's just going to snap off if I do it a little bit too hard. So very nice. In terms of this, it's pretty much the same. It's definitely more rigid, probably because it's also a smaller case, but it definitely doesn't wiggle enough to make me feel a little bit more concerned about the integrity of the overall top of the case. Both of these, you open the lid and able to turn them on. And in terms of that, I definitely feel like the XM4 do better because you have to take them out of the case and able for them to turn on. I prefer that overall. Was about Sony earbuds in general. The SB800N was the same way. And the overall footprint of these earbuds remind me of the SB800N, honestly. um, both are pretty bulky. The SB800N were definitely more lightweight, or hefty, rather. And these are more lightweight, but they kind of remind me of them. Whereas these, like I said, very lightweight, no problem. All the LG earbuds have been fairly lightweight. I haven't really had any sort of issue with them. But they also, well, aside from the FN7, I feel the FN7, I wouldn't necessarily say it would be the best for jogging and stuff because they didn't go all the way into my ear, like, say, the FP8, FP9 do. So that's very nice. Let's get down to features here real quick. Both of these have 5 minutes have fast charging, so every 5 minutes you have the earbuds in the case. They give you an hour or hours with the usage. These have 32 hours in the case. This has I think 24. I think it's 24 when you're not using noise canceling, and it's like 12 when you have noise canceling on. Definitely should do better next time around, LG, but I guess due to the overall size of the, not because these even have better battery life targets than the FN7s. They're pretty much the same size case. This is just a little bit thicker due to the UV Nano and plug-in wireless. So I guess they can also do a little bit better with battery life as well. These have UV Nano in the case, so ultraviolet rays that target the speaker mesh of your grill of your earbuds when you put them in the case and plug them into a charger, to where it takes 5 minutes to clean off 99.9% of germs and bacteria off of the speaker mesh of your earbud, and it definitely does work. I would definitely not expect it to get anything off of, say, the ear gel itself, but it definitely does a good job at getting stuff off of the speaker mesh, which is very nice. Really nice indeed. More headphones need to have that. This also has a gaming mode, whereas this doesn't. I really do feel like more headphones need a gaming mode. There are a lot of headphones that have them, but there are also a lot of headphones that don't. Or there are headphones that do, that keep the low latency mode into their own ecosystem and all that kind of stupid crap. So it's very nice that LG is giving you that kind of stuff. This has LDAC, this doesn't. I'll get into why I personally don't care about that when I get to the sound section. And yeah, overall, in terms of features, I think you can go either or, honestly. It depends. It ultimately depends on what you want. Both of these have very good active noise cancellation and transparency modes. Both of these obviously use USB-C to charge. One has wireless charging, one doesn't. But this has the plug-in wireless feature, whereas this doesn't. This also has the UV Nano feature, where this doesn't. So I feel like it ultimately depends on what you want. But if you don't care about the plug-in wireless feature and want wireless charging, go to the FP8. You'll get the exact same headphone. You'll just get true wireless charging on them, and that is very nice. That is a very nice feature to indeed have. I will say I do kind of miss it, but it's not like a big deal whatsoever. It's definitely not a big deal at all when it comes to these. Let's talk about the also, these hold more charge in the earbuds themselves than these do. They say that, this is 8 hours of overall usage, but it ultimately depends on the volume that you use. If you have 50 to 60% volume, I can definitely see it. But with these can go up to 10 hours worth of usage, no problem. And I've had that happen plenty of times at 50 to 60% volume, and when I do the 100% volume, they're at like 7 to 8, and I really feel like that's really nice. Whereas these, I did the testing, at most they get to like 5 hours worth of usage when you're at 100% volume with noise canceling off, and LDAC off. So that's very interesting to see. But again, when you turn all that off, but then go to 50% volume, you'll definitely get to that 8 hour figure that they say that the earbuds can do. I have no doubt about that. Let's talk about the ambient mode and active noise cancellation. Both of these are pretty much the same in terms of noise cancellation. I might favor these a little bit better because of one, you can adjust the overall strength of the noise cancellation itself. I don't see that in the app for the Soundcore, so if they are there, let me know. But on these, you can do it for high or low. I tend to set it on the low settings since it does seem to be as strong, it's just not as sensitive. Honestly, that's pretty much it. So I tend to just keep it in the low active noise cancellation mode and really have no issues there. Both of these, like I said, have transparency mode. This gives you two different levels of transparency mode as well. You get your conversation mode and your listening mode. So your listening mode obviously is for hearing stuff around you, right? So it tunes the transparency mode to hear, like, say, cars, or say the voice prompt for your lights and all that, your stoplights and all that stuff. That's what this will definitely do better with. Towards a listening mode, conversation mode obviously tunes it so you hear. So, apologies. I've been talking for a little bit too long, and I had to handle some bodily business in terms of my throat. So, yeah. But anyway, the conversation mode obviously would be better for things like holding a conversation with people, and it'll tune the transparency mode and able to allow for that. Whereas this is just ANC transparency mode. And both of these obviously have an off feature. You got to go into the app itself to turn that on. But overall, I do feel like both of them do a very good job at the ANC and the transparency mode. You can't really go wrong with either. I will say that both of them definitely have your voice sounding a little bit more digitized. This acts as more an audio pass-through mode, whereas this is a voice enhancer mode more, where it does indeed enhance the voices or the sounds of the people around you. And honestly, both of them sound clear. I really don't have any sort of issue with it. But yeah, both of them do good in those regards. In terms of gaming, I would say these will definitely be the far better choice due to the fact that these have a gaming mode. I connected both of these to my PC over here. I guess you could just say laptop, but it's basically a PC. The Soundcores, while I was playing games like Fallout 4 or Marvel's Avengers or any of the Tomb Raider games or Doom, there was definitely some audio delay, and I was able to feel it and hear it, and it was quite distracting. It was distracting when I noticed it and paid attention, whereas when I wasn't paying attention, it was totally fine when I wasn't looking for it. But with these, when you turn on the gaming mode, which you're going to have to do by connecting them to a phone first, going into the app, going into the LG Tone Labs tab, and then turning on the gaming mode. And then you could just connect them to your audio source, a la, say, like I was saying, for example, my gaming laptop right here. And you basically don't hear any sort of lag whatsoever. It's basically eliminated. Like, if there is lag there, it's so minimal that it really doesn't matter. Like, the audio is syncing very well with the visual when it comes to, say, shooting a gun, and I really don't hear it. Whereas these, it's like I shoot the gun, then the sound goes off. Whereas I shoot the gun and the sound goes off in pretty much the exact same time. And that's really nice, and I feel like you can't really go wrong with the tone-free FP8/FP9 in that regard. Both of them do very well for that case. In terms of, say, for this particular use case, canceling out, say, PC fan noise and all that stuff, both of these do a very good job as well. You could have these in the low setting and still cancel out the fans very well. Really have no issue there. In fact, I feel like it did a little bit better because it wasn't as sensitive. And that's very nice. I really do like that a lot about these. Really no issue there whatsoever. These also have a whispering mode for, say, talking on the phone, where you just take, I think it's the left earbud, and put it to your mouth and just whisper into it, and people will hear you. People will hear you more than they'll hear the stuff around you. I haven't tested it, but I've seen other people test it, and it seems to work. So, yeah, that's fine, I guess. Let's talk about the sound now, because that's what I really do want to talk about here more than anything. A lot of people are praising the Soundcore for giving you very good sound, giving you LDAC, giving you all this stuff at a lower price. And I really do think that's very nice, especially when even though there are other true wireless earbuds that do offer that. Like, didn't the Edifier Neo Buds Pro come out recently, and those have LDAC? Aren't there like one more earbuds that came out a while ago, like a long time ago, and they gave them LDAC and THX certification and all this stuff, but somehow Soundcore is the one that's the saving grace of headphones right now? I don't know. I'm being a little bit too cynical when it comes to that, but it's whatever. Let's talk about the sound here. If you want the more spacious sound, if you want more vocal forward sound, but you still get very satisfying bass, you still get a bass that is substantial. They say the drivers in here have flex. They're calling it flex action bass or something like that. And I really do feel like the bass in these true wireless earbuds are very good. There are some people that say it ultimately depends on the music you listen to, honestly. But for the music I listen to, mostly rap and hip hop, the bass on these headphones can be satisfying. Songs like "For the Love of Money" by the Compton Dr. Dre soundtrack, or "You and That" by E40, "Ballad of the Bass" by Big Crit. These definitely do a fantastic job with bass and vocals. And in the immersive mode in particular, when you open these up and get the app, these also have Google Fast Pair, whereas these don't. Whereas the moment you open these up and you have them next to a phone, they'll show up on your phone, whereas these just don't have that. And that's very nice. Because with Google Fast Pair, what it also does is that if you don't have the app installed, it'll be like, okay, do you want to download the app? And it lets you download the app. That's very nice. Another convenient feature that these have that these don't. Before I get into the sound, multi-point pairing. These have multi-point, these have multi-connection. These can connect up to 5 devices. These can connect up to only 2, but these connect to 2 simultaneously, whereas these just connect to 1. And then if you want to switch to another, you go to that device and you go into the Bluetooth settings and you connect them. And it's actually quite fast. It's not that big of a deal for me personally to do that. I honestly prefer it that way because with multi-connection, with multi-point pairing, when it comes to these, or when it came to the Bose Quiet Comfort 45, the QC45s, sometimes it would decide to try to play audio out of a source that wasn't playing audio when I was trying to play audio, say, out of my PC. And that was something that just didn't work for me personally. So multi-connection works better for me because of the fact that it just stayed connected to the one source unless I decided to go to the other source. And you don't have to put the device into pairing mode, you have to put it in the pairing mode and able to connect it to that device initially, but you don't have to do it after that anymore. You just have to go into your Bluetooth settings, so long as they're on, and click the option, click them and click connect to them, and they'll connect to them. That's pretty much it. And I honestly just prefer that method. But very spacious audio, These sound very open. It's actually quite nice that they sound as open as they do. Vocal clarity is very good. I really don't have any sort of issues with vocal clarity on these headphones. The overall audio quality on these headphones are also very good. Really have no issue with that as well. What would be the only thing I say I don't like about the audio on these? I would say that I don't know. I really, I really don't know. Because the only thing I would say is like an audio issue is like the transparency mode sounds a little bit too digitized. But in terms of listening to music, I really don't have any sort of issues with them whatsoever. I haven't ran into a single issue where I feel like, oh, something sounds a little bit too muffled here, or I can't hear this particular sound here, or anything like that. There really isn't anything about the FP8 slash FP9s that I feel is like completely a deal breaker or a negative enough to where I have to mention it. So yeah, the Soundcores, however, I think I became quite critical of the Soundcores because of how many people are just talking it up and overhyping them. And while these are very good headphones, I'm not going to sit here. So they're hi-fi certified, yada yada yada. They have LDAC and all that stuff. LDAC is not a saving grace to these headphones, and not a saving grace to any headphone. And it's really interesting when I've heard a lot of reviewers say that in the past, especially when it came to Sony, that they're not saying the exact same thing here. But nonetheless, the Soundcores, vocal clarity on these are very good. Almost too good to the point where vocals can sound a little bit too crisp. And while the vocals are really good, the bass is also really good. But what happens to that is if you listen to music that has a lot of hefty like hip hop slash rap bass, the bass can drown out the vocals, and the bass can also drown out more intricate sounds in the track if you care about that. So I don't know, unless you don't care about hearing the vocals all that much, I wouldn't necessarily say these are the best for things like say an artist that focuses more on their voice more, but is also a hip hop artist. Like say J. Cole is one I can think of that puts more time and effort into having a track. Same with like Kendrick Lamar, that puts more time and effort into having having production that's more intricate, and having production and having their vocals be a little bit more forward than say other like more mainstream artists out there. Not that J. Cole or K. Dot are not mainstream, they are, but compared to say these other ones out here, they're kind of more underground. They're kind of more laid back, and these will definitely be for the more simplified tracks. I feel, despite having LDAC. LDAC doesn't make any of that better. It actually makes it sound pretty much the same. Like, whether I am playing it through Apple Music, whether I'm playing, say, the same tracks, but through through DSD or whatever on the phone itself, it really made no difference whatsoever. LDAC made no difference. So stop acting like LDAC is just saving grace. It really isn't. It's nice to have, but it also comes at the cost of battery life. Whereas these, with LDAC on 100%, noise canceling on as well, you're looking at 2 hours 45 minutes like of overall usage. And with noise canceling off but LDAC on, you're looking at a grand total of maybe like what? Let me actually look at this. Let me look at this to make sure I'm actually not saying the wrong things. Yeah. LDAC on, ANC on, 2 hours and 30 minutes. You're getting 2 hours and 44 minutes if you have ANC. So you're getting a grand total of 14 more minutes. You better savor those 14 more minutes if you turn both of those on, if you want maximum performance out of your stuff. So yeah, I don't I don't know, man. These are really good. I'm not trying to say these aren't good. What I would say these are good for, more vocal heavy music. Honestly, more vocal heavy music. Um, like say just if they're just singing and have a piano behind it, or if it's just an instrumental, things like that. I would definitely feel like these would do better for that. But for me personally, I don't feel like these are the headphones to beat. I really don't. I feel like for the price, they're definitely good, but both of these are pretty much around the same price. These are like twenty to $30 more. If you can't spend $20 to $30 more, I don't know what to tell you. And this isn't like money shaming. We all have our we all have our struggles, man. I understand it, but not to say that these aren't like I can totally understand being like, oh, these was the XM4 for the price. I would definitely go with the Soundcores. I can understand why someone would say that, but if you're just talking $20 to $30 more, and you're talking about for the price, it's like that's not that big of a price jump to me personally. And for me, I'm getting sound that I overall prefer, but that's just me personally. Again, both of these are very good earbuds. Black Friday sales and all that stuff. I guess I can. I guess I could actually check what the Amazon sales are going to be for these, because that is actually LG Tone FP9. The LG Tone FP9 right now is 126, down from 199. I'll even go FP8 right now. FP8's the same price. So either way, you get very good earbuds out of that. Let me go to the Soundcores. Liberty 3 Pro. The Soundcores are still their base price right now. You're getting you're getting a better deal with the FP9s, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you travel a lot, I definitely would go with the FP9s, mainly because they have that plug-in wireless feature for planes and stuff like that. Um, you can't go wrong with either. I'm just gonna say that right now. You can't really go wrong with either. But for me personally, I feel like the sound cores are just a little bit too hyped right now. Um, for the price, 170, they're definitely nice. But if you find earbuds that do a little bit better in certain areas that you care about, and they're also cheaper, I would go with those earbuds. And I would personally go with the FP9s. I honestly would. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for or FPH. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching and support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, or whatever time or day it is in your area. Have a good one.